Well, today we gathered in the parlour to launch this year's Four Corners Festival, the theme of which is imagination and generosity.
Well, it's part of the Four Corners Festival, and it's the first event that the Four Corners have had after the unfortunate trouble that we had last year at the Listening to Your Enemies event. One of the things we will be doing is we'll be showing this year, we're hosting the Gaelic Psalm singers. They're coming over from Stornoway, and we call the event Slíche na Baha, which is Scots Gaelic for the path of life, and that's straight from the Psalms. And basically what it is, it's a journey through the Psalms. Now, you know, the Psalms are very much about human experience. They're full of anger and despair and resentment, but they bring us to a place of acceptance and forgiveness and hope. So we're paralleling that with the journey that we're on at the moment in Northern Ireland. Since the Good Friday Agreement, we're also on this journey where there is anger, as we saw last year at the event, and despair and hopelessness and resentment, but we want to be journeying to a place of acceptance, forgiveness and hope. So really that's what the evening's all about.
Imagine there is a heaven where our wrongs are made right, not some ethereal answer.
I think one of the things that I don't think makes it controversial, makes it interesting, is the fact that the people who will be coming over are Gaels. Their first language is Gaelic, and for some reason that does seem to cause problems here in Northern Ireland. But what is surprising for people here in Northern Ireland is these people are Presbyterians, and that's part of their tradition. And really, you know, if we're looking for the biggest Gaelic speaking region in the British Isles, we don't find it in Ireland, we find it in Scotland, where 80% of speakers would be from the Protestant tradition. So for them, you know, that there would be any controversy about the language is very strange, because it's as natural as eating and sleeping.
A place of tangible hope.
And it was an opportunity to present people with the programme, which is wide and varied, and to encourage as many people as possible to come along to at least one, if not as many of the events as they can.
For those of you who don't know, and you probably do by now because it's a well-worn story, but over a cup of coffee, Father Martin and I had this crazy idea.
Steve Stockman and Father Martin McGill came up with the idea for this a number of years ago, and really bringing Belfast together, because we're a very small city when we compare ourselves to other cities.
I've always been enamoured, if you like, by the ethos behind the Four Corners Festival, about encouraging us to physically and literally leave our comfort zones and get to know our city and get to know the people of our city.
Well, we still are a divided society, and there are some of us who haven't gone to many corners in the city. This is about encouraging us to literally step outside our comfort zone and learn more about our city, every aspect of it, and people from each section of the city.
And I have actually lived that ethos.
I know people who haven't been in other parts of the city, and you know, that's quite shocking. As part of my project, we've taken people to West Belfast who've never been there, and we've brought people into East Belfast who've never been in East Belfast. So it's about bringing all the parts of our city. It's opening up and letting people go into all parts.
Well, I hope as many people as possible get to experience it, and I hope that it helps to encourage a conversation about generosity, about compassion, and about our need to reimagine and have imagination about the kind of society that we want in our city and for our country going forward.
I just think a greater understanding, bringing people together, and very much opening up the city.
Well, I have to say, I'm really looking forward to hosting the dinner for our refugees in the city. My big passion is opening this place up and making everybody feel welcome. And I relish the opportunity of bringing our refugees and asylum seekers in and treating them to a dinner and some of the generosity and hospitality.
It's maybe in some way a lament for where we've been, but a hope for where we're going.